Okay, if I was going to go ahead and do maybe some sampling, let's go ahead and do some sampling. So if I press play on here, well, first off, I went ahead and hooked up my phone into the audio inputs of the Fantom-G, and I made sure that the level on the back of the Fantom-G is at maxed, so I can control it all with the phone, okay? So that's where I personally like to do it. So if I go into sampling here, go ahead and hit sampling, I say it's gonna come in line and left and right, and then I'm gonna do everything here manually. So I'm gonna go ahead and press start manually, and then I can go ahead and start my editing. So I'm gonna go ahead and press start, and I went ahead and came into here, and I already set my levels. Made sure they're already in the yellow, green and yellow, but never in the red. All right, I just stopped it here, and now let's play it back inside the G. And obviously, I'm gonna get rid of all of this right here. Great, so I'm gonna go ahead and start point, I'm gonna go ahead and move this over. I'm hitting the beat button and have this going. So now when I press preview, kind of looking, and I see it's right around here. So I'll go ahead and find that. Oops, beat again. Oh, almost there. And there I can see it. So I'll come into here, and I'll cursor to the right, and I get right on it, as close as I can get. And zoom a little bit more, you see, get right on it. Really zoomed in. And that's as much as I can zoom in, so it should be dead on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all of this. That's just waste now. So I'm gonna go into my modify, and I'm gonna truncate, which is gonna get rid of all that. Select, overwrite, and execute. So, okay. So now when I press preview, and you know what? We have all of this, but I think we're just going to get that first couple. So let's go ahead and pay attention. 3. And there's where we're going to get it. And I'm going to get that endpoint and find it here. Let's preview. And there it is. I'll go ahead right here. Zoom in. Get as close as I can down to the wave. Okay, and I'm going to listen to it back. I'm going to go ahead and press modify. Is that right? Nope. Okay, it's going to it should automatically loop. So let's go ahead. And preview. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell it, hit parameter, and it's set for one shot. I'm gonna tell it to loop, so forward. So keep that going, and I'm gonna exit and preview. Perfect loop. Great, now I'm gonna go ahead and go into modify again and truncate once again, because I don't want any of that. Or if you do, don't override it, and it'll put this in a new sample, but I'm gonna overwrite. I don't want any of that stuff. So there we go. And let's check it one more time. Should be a perfect loop. Perfect loop. Listen again right there. Great, now I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go into parameters here, and I'm gonna do a BPM calculator, and it's gonna ask me how many measures. So I believe this one was at 1 measure, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. So 2 measures at 4, 4. So go ahead to execute, Great. And I'll reset the grid so it matches up. Great. And now let's preview. Great. So we went ahead and set up a loop. We went ahead the loop tune. If we wanted to, we could find out the key real quick. So we know it's an F, and so I'll set it to F. Just if I wanted to be real specific. So you don't have to, but it's just so you know. So we set it what it was, and that's fine. BPM is 112.25 time stretch. Great. Everything seems good. Let's go ahead and exit. And now at this point, I will go ahead and press the right button, and I'm going to save it as a sample. And this song is called Radio Gaga, so I'll go ahead and delete all this and name it real fast. So, and this is just in my preliminary sample. So right now, this is just the sample at its most primitive, or most basic level. So we have all the basic parameters, and then once I start assigning it, then all of this will come into play. Let me just see how they have it. Okay, radio, and then there we go. Okay. All right, so 76, that's where I'm going to put it. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and put it someplace else, but that's fine for me. 76. All right. So now that's written, it's already edited, got the exact 2 measures, reset the grid, found the BPM, and that was going through the parameters. Okay, great. Now if I wanted to, let's listen to it one more time. So I'll go back into my sampling area. Oops. Go back into here, and we can listen to it. So press samples right here, and there it is. Oh, what I didn't do is I would do one more thing. I'd modify, and let's normalize it. Make sure it's as loud as it can be. So select, overwrite, and execute. Almost forgot that. So there we go. Now it's a really fat waveform. So I'll probably bring it down in my keyboard. It's overdriving. There we go. So now it's really big, and I need to rewrite it over it one more time so it saves that change. So now it's a really good, healthy sample. Great. Now I'm going to go ahead, and it's saved. We got everything's truncated, 2 measures, normalized, BPM calculator, and we even have the key it's in. All right, great. So exit out of there. Now if I wanted to put it into a patch, a couple things I could do here. If I wanted to do it in a patch, I could go ahead and go into patch edit right here, utility menu, and I can initialize a patch real quick. Great. So now that I initialized the patch, I could go ahead and go into the Pro Edit right here, so I can see. And right now I can say where are we getting the waveform from. So in the Fantom-G's cool thing is, so we have all the initialized. If I press enter, there's where we can get all of our waves. So I can say we're taking a sample, and this one was on 76. Great. So let me turn off these other ones right here. So I'll go ahead and turn off these tone switches. Great. So now all you'll hear is this. Okay, and before I do that, I'm going to adjust the wave gain. Bring it down a little bit. There we go, that's a good, okay. Now, all I have to do, I have it on F because that's what I designated it to be. I'll go ahead and turn on Wave Tempo Sync. And see, it's not changing. It's changing the pitch, but not the tempo. But if I turn it off, okay, so turn it on because it's already been analyzed from the original sample. And if I go to tempo up here, I can change it, maybe speed it up a little bit. Or bring it down to a tempo that's more close to it, maybe like 122 if I remember. So. Great, so I'll go ahead and write it and select, and I'm going to delete all this, and I'll call this Lady Gaga patch. So we'll just call this Lady Gaga real fast. Great. And I'll go ahead and let's put it also in 76. I'm not even sure what's here. Yeah, I don't have to, but let's see, what's this? Compare. You know what? I am going to go ahead and just overwrite that one. Let's see, Jazzer, Grand Rock. I'm going to overwrite that, so I'll put it here. And now it's pretty much set to go. So I know in my user section, internal patch user. And there it is. Now if I wanted to go ahead and use it anywhere else in the keyboard, with a layer, then I would start here at the patch, and then I could go ahead and do my octave shifting ±3. And that's all there is to it. All right, you guys take care.